Hi friends, in this session I will be speaking to Nicolas Prophte, who is working as denim sourcing and development leader in PVH Europe. Most of his career has been spent in the denim business after exploring sports goods with technical and performance products and also luxury brands with suits and formal shirts. Denim product itself had been always a magnet for him, and he loves to embrace the complexity and the richness of the denim industry and the sense of belonging to a very good and fun community. So may I welcome Nicholas to kindly join in this conversation.
Thank you, Sandeep, to inviting me. It's a pleasure to talk with you. I think this is the first time we have also this interaction together. But yeah, I'm happy to participate and to engage with a good conversation. I hope for everybody.
Absolutely. So we are living in difficult times, and we all trying to find a new normal. So what do you think? How the fashion sector, especially denim, is evolving during these times. We've been living last 6 months, and what are the major changes do you see which are already coming into effect?
So I think what we feel and what we can see, it's I think the numbers driven and also what we feel from the European market. So I will be more focused on Europe because it's where I'm working for Tommy and PVH Europe. So from a European perspective, I think the recovery plan, let's say, is a bit more dynamic than we were expected. So as a first, let's say, positive vibe or news I will share with everybody, it's the demand, and especially on denim, still there. Because I'm reading a lot of articles, denim is down. There is quite of negative press at this moment that the denim product category is suffering, and so I would like to moderate this vision. I think it's not the case for us, at least for Tommy and CK, but especially for Tommy, that we can see that appetite for the denim bottoms still there. So of course we had the lockdown for a few months. We affected pre-420 and 420 sellout. Definitely, we went through, as you said, 4 or 5 difficult months. More probably on the supply chain, and this we can develop after. But in terms of commerciality and market and demand from the market, is still there.
So that's a very good news, and I think that should give a lot of hope to the industry, And do you think this is a kind of a pent-up demand, which is, people, because the consumers were kind of stuck up and they didn't buy, and now they are kind of, want to get into buying action again?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the consumer, of course, could not go to the physical shops, could not go to our partners, wholesale partners, but I think the brand appetite or the brand equity, at least for our brand, still there. This didn't disappear. Of course, we boomed our numbers in our own e-com. This was quite amazing. Really, we realized that this online or this e-com window, we call it the world shop, has been tremendously an asset. And I think it's an eye opener for all the brands that we were talking before and we were doing before, but I think we need to accelerate and to be more and more dynamic also on this .com business, and to be more and more present. So I think this value and the brand equity together, the consumer demand was there, and I think now with all, let's say, the unlock and to a deconfinement finally for the different countries in Europe, the demand, the people are coming back, the traffic is coming back step by step. So that's why the plan is a little bit is still fragile. I think we need to be on top of it, but I think it's stronger or more optimistic that we were forecasting. So that's the 2 parameters very important to take in consideration. Sorry.
That's wonderful, and I really hope that this traction keeps on increasing, and we see more. We can recover lost ground. The ground that we lost in 2020, we can recover that. So that would be really wonderful. And
Yeah.
okay, now coming to from the designing perspective, because you specialize in that area. What do you think how the whole process of designing is adapting in now? Because physical interactions are almost finished, and the touch part is so important when you are designing. So how the things are adapting for you?
Yeah, so we have to acknowledge that travel ban became, mandatory in most of the corporate today. So, for example, I'm just talking about PVH. Yeah, 2020, even until end of the year, we are not allowed. We don't travel. It's simple as that. Or you have to really build a very critical business case to to ask permission to go to travel. But so yeah, and since March, so we didn't take the plane. So it's very strange for sourcing people, for designers, inspirational trip for product developers or watch developers not going to be on site and to make what they used to say my job. So in a way, we have put in a situation that when you don't have opportunities to do other things, you need to adapt. And I think the capacities of I will put design, product development, people, tech. I mean, there is a lot of activities. I would say at the beginning of the process, we had to engage in a different way, and we didn't have choice. So we have to be creative. And I think one of the things so the trade shows disappeared. No physical meetings also with vendors. We cannot receive them at the office. We have this policy also to massively work from home. So no more interaction with meals, no more interaction with vendors that we used to have. So we need to, and in the same way, we need to keep this dynamic of creation around the product, around the collection. So if I take the example of Spring 21, because Spring 21 has been designed, developed during all these months, and how we see the result of the samples, the attractiveness of the products. We have in Amsterdam an amazing denim center that we built already almost two years ago, where we have also all the assets to play with the ingredients. And for me today, the brands who have the ingredients, who has the expertise to cook with the right ingredients, are the winners. And for example, we have a huge fabric library, physically, of course, but also we have a digital one. So we can share, with designers, with product developers. So we have a lot of data and knowledge, and at least for the fabric side. We have also in our denim center, we have a denim atelier. Physically, we can make prototypes, new fits in 48 hours. So it's a mini factory that we have in Amsterdam and in our office. So this kind of assets became, even more and more important. We can crack it down a new fit. We can be creative in a fashion fit or in a commercial core fit. So we have these tools, and also we have an amazing, let's say, I will call it a digital wash library. We have also many developments that we can also share with our designers. So I think all these different tools help us, plus expertise to pass through it. And one of the key things also is to have a very strong vendors, key partners, key meals and key vendors. They know us, we know them, we know how to interact with them. Of course, we have to organize also a digital denim meal week. We are experimenting also this kind of how we engage with them. But to be honest, we are so close with them that the best fabrics, probably our fabrics the last 2-3 years, we don't have to say to the consumer, but they are there. We know them. We identify them. And I think that's expertise we have. It's a must-have today. And to design creativity, I mean, it's your mind at the end of the day. You don't need to travel to LA or San Francisco behind me, or a fancy trip to be creative. Yeah. And I think the mindset of your designers also needs to evolve. They need to find inspiration in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing, because if you say that even with this all, because Spring 21 is all virtually designed, and still wonderful results are coming out of it. So that shows that the capabilities to adapt to the new normal and using different tools much more effectively has been really successful. So that also gives confidence for the future. Probably, I believe that probably once we come back to the normal situation post COVID, even then probably some of these tools might be continue to be used in some way because they might help in productivity post COVID also.
Yeah, I mean, we are learning. I mean, from the, let's call it, this traumatic experience. You need to see the learning side, and we are learning that, oh wow, we can be also productive and effective in a different way, and to be more cost effective. At the end of the day, productivity is going to be more and more important. And I think the calendars, but also think about how we interact also with our salespeople, how we interact with our buyers. It's all digital. It's all by VC. There is no more meetings in showrooms. It's over. And I think PVH, we have been on the forefront of digital showrooms, digital assets to sell our collection. We were already there, but again, this pandemic, it's an accelerator of the vision we had before, that this digital platform selling is very important and we engage more, but also 3D design. We didn't discuss about that, but 3D design for Denim, there is more little difficulties, but we also engage with our Stitch company, our company inside a little startup, also 3D design. Today we are able to design everything 3D, but also for selling. So it means that there is no more prototypes, there is no more salesman samples. The designers design, and it's directly in the digital showroom, and it's sold like that, digital. And we just produce what we have to produce with the supplier. So I think these digital assets are becoming more and more important for the future.
Absolutely. And your stores, the final sales, with the sales is happening. I mean, they are happy the way with the understanding of the product and everything. They are, kind of okay with the digital things.
Yeah, I think it's as we said, we learn during the course. So I think every season we engage. We call it this digital market. We do better. We improve the digital contents. We improve the quality of the pictures, the quality of how the structure of the collection is organized, the storytelling, how we can share also storytelling better digitally. Something I'm very passionate about sustainability. How we also sell digitally our sustainability vision, our sustainability plan, or goals or targets. I think there is more and more contents that we need to produce besides the product. I think it's important, but also to wrap also all the product in a story to make it stronger, because the buyers also, they stay home. They do the presentation with the salespeople like we do now as a VC. So we need to produce more and more contents to engagement of the buyers. That's very important.
Absolutely. And because all this process change, must also affected the production processes for the supply chain. So how do you think they are adapting to this, or how they are finding it?
But yeah, the last few months, I think one of the let's say the painful experience we had, it's the whole supply chain. We have been, all our mills, vendors have been with the lockdown. So the different lockdown from the consumer facing, but also lockdown for the brand. We stopped completely the production. We said, hey, hold the goods, we don't need it. So I think it creates all these tensions of holding goods. Cash flow situation was also very critical from a brand perspective, but I think the cash flow situation became also cascading in all the structure, in all supply chain. PVH supply, we came with a solution to help to circulate the money, because we had to re-engage the machine. But when we stop the machine like that, I think we stress all the machine. What I see is even if the market is going to picking up, the lack of visibility for the next following months is going to be the key challenge for the supply chain. Meaning that even for the brands to capture what the market is demanding is going to be more and more blurry. So we have less visibility. But the demand, we know that demand is still there. So it means that in terms of capturing the information, the data, and to translate in the collection and also to produce is going to be more and more difficult. So it could shift, I mean, a kind of sourcing strategy in terms of supply chain to be more reactive and more flexible, because your lead time, unfortunately, we have to be the same, and we have to react at the last time. So I think it's going to put a little bit more pressure on the sourcing strategy, try to, I will call it regionalizing, for consumer, European consumer, how we can make sure we have sources around Europe to make sure that there will be probably, I will call it a business opportunity that we need to fulfill. Because probably one special customer, we have a request, we are missing this, we are missing that. So I think we need to be very cautious and very reactive.
Yeah, and so I believe that the supply chain really has to be very adaptable. You know, they have to be, as you said, the lead times will go down and they have to react very fast. So the companies who are able to really react in a very quick way and in a very upfront way probably will be kind of better placed.
Yeah. So I think, and it's coming back also to this partnership with key mills for the fabrics, key vendors for the final products, all together. How we maximize, how we reduce our lead time together, how we can anticipate, how we can make deals or commitment together. I think the capabilities of brands to engage with strong partners during this, I will call it the storm, will be a massive asset to have this reactivity, to have this flexibility. So that's what I built the last few years, and you can really get the benefit now when it's the momentum. I think we are stronger together, and I think we have good professional in our denim industry that could react in the same way. But we need to give, as a brand, we need to give a little bit visibility, a little bit of commitment. This is our role.
Absolutely. So this is a time when relationships really count, because you invest in relationships for a long time, and finally, this is a time when really they are mattering. They are making a big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, coming to the collections. What we have been hearing and seeing that many of the company, retailers want to increase their core lines, so that it becomes easier for them to manage the supply chain, and it is more adaptable. It is easy to adapt when you have a larger core line and you work on fast fashion products to a certain extent. So does this kind of theory work for many of the retailers, or what do you think? Is it really something which the retailers are looking at?
I think this. I think in terms of evolution of the collection, let's say the structure of the collection, we have already this core. I will call it core or unseasonal or NOS, or there is many definitions. I think yes, there is a trend to how we can maximize and leverage this business, this core, and mainly in denim is quite, I would say, not easier, but it's a good category to explore how we can leverage and increase productivity for this kind of range for all over the year. But I believe also that you need the spice. So it's a good balance between a very maximize your core business, but also bring some capsules relevant for you, for your purpose, for your DNA, for your brand, for the storytelling you want to say. So I think the balance between a very strong core business, non-seasonal, maximize the efficiency of that, and some very strong fashion capsules, collabs, relevant for your purpose. And probably for us, I would say sustainability, for example, is going to be also one key asset, how we can spice up I think sustainability is part of our core business, but how we can bring also sometimes some innovation, a little bit disruptive, that we can spice it up with seasonal or different capsules. I think it's the mix of it. So you still, if you want to do that, this really, I will call it fast track or quick response or read and react. There's so many names. Again,
On demand.
you need the right. First, you need to capture what the consumer is asking or your customers. I think that's important. It's how quick you can bring and digest this data, and how quick you can also produce these goods and deliver on time. So I think it's a combination of both. I think probably there will be a kind of readjustment, but I think it's the combination of both.
And as you said, sustainability is so important. So the year 2021, what direction do you see that sustainability will take?
For me, if we start with sustainability, it can be a long discussion. For me, sustainability is it's not 2021. It's a long trip. It's a long journey. So I think what we do in 2021 will be in the continuity of what we implement in the last few years. So we have, for Tommy Hilfiger, a special, let's say, sustainability strategy. We call it Make It Possible. I think we released recently a full launch of what are our targets in 5 years, and basically sustainability for us will be of course one pillar will be environmental, about our planet, and another one will be more about the people and the human, and also the social impact we have in all our communities. So yeah, for us, if I talk about denim specific, it's again how we are going to have an impact with our vendors, with our meals. So we are bringing new metrics or new KPIs. For example, I will focus on circularity. It's important for us, and I think for everybody, I hope. But we are putting, since 3-4 seasons, post-consumer recycled cotton in our blends, in our fabrics, because we believe we need to design more and more from waste, and stop reduce our virgin cotton production, because we all know that has a massive impact. So we are putting a kind of matrix for the next 5 years with our mills to have 20% post-consumer recycled cotton in all our fabrics, and we want to scale it up. So this is a very metric. We want to make it big, and I think 2021 we are committed to produce 1 million pair of jeans with these metrics, with all our mills, to be there, and 2023 3 million. So we want to accelerate very quick. To be very honest, we are far in advance about this target. So I'm very happy because our mills are replying good. Probably we will accelerate, but for me in the future, 60, 70, 80% of all our production will be with post-consumer recycled cotton on denim. So that's one thing. The other one is we still also pushing, the laundry side, to become more and more responsible, use less water, less chemistry, less energy, and also to stimulate them to how they manage their waste, the water recycling, how all the energy renewable they can put in place in all the facilities, and also the social impact also of the laundries, how we can minimize the social with the workers, to make sure they work in the perfect conditions. So we have also one KPI here, we call it the low impact denim washes, that we measure and that we put also a kind of dashboard. Our target for globally, so worldwide, is for next year is to have 50% of all our jeans low impact, using ozone technology and laser technology mainly. But again, I'm very optimistic that we go even a little bit quicker. So I think it's quite good news. For me, the most important is we don't compromise design, we don't compromise quality, we don't compromise aesthetically or attractivity of the garments, because it's sustainable. We need also to call out that a sustainable garment can be still very sexy, and a pair of jeans has to be sexy. So we combine both. There is no compromising. We commit to do both. So we have the classic business KPIs, but also we are very involved in the sustainable metrics, and this and the design metrics. So all this can push away at the same time. Right? It's not one or the other. So I think brands who could deal with these different metrics at the same time and not to focus on the only one will be the winner. And that's, we try to, sometimes it's not easy to accommodate because all these KPIs are all linked.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult sometimes.
And probably I can put one other one. It's lead time, and I think lead time is going to be a massive impact closer to the market. Reactivity, it's also one other KPI. And if you have this simple dashboard and you push all through and you make your decisions regarding this dashboard, but holistically and not focus on one, there you can win. It's so, and sometimes, yeah, you have some decision to make, to do how we see it, how we vision it. But I think this is our job, but we need to take the big picture.
It's a difficult job, and you're doing a lot. I believe it's wonderful efforts, the kind of goals that you've kept, and but from the consumer side, do you feel that they appreciate the efforts? They really understand the efforts, or they are also kind of reacting to it very well. No, I'm not talking as PVH, but as general. I mean, as general industry, I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I think the consumer facing today. I think there is an appetite to understand better what I don't like sustainable world, but I will call it a more responsible production, or responsible product, or rational product, or positive product. I think there is an appetite for the young generation to understand better the behind the scenes. How has it made in terms of process, in terms of environmental impact, in terms of social impact. I think they are more and more curious. For the brands, for us now, it's how we want to bring this message to them. I think in the past, but this is my opinion, Nicolas' opinion, the brand communication towards sustainability was wrong, but this is my opinion. I think we should do in a different way, and to engage in a better, more responsibility or positive message. And I think we should avoid claims too quickly from a brand perspective to the market. I think there is too many things claimed without verifying first the B2B or the industry. So my recommendation for us, it's really to have a huge effort on the denim industry side to clean up the mess, because there is also a lot of, let's say, claims or goodwill or good intention to improve. But I think we need also to have a kind of alignment on what does it mean responsible production in our denim world in terms of industry perspective. And if we don't have this alignment or clear visibility, what does it mean as a definition? What do we want to measure there? It's difficult after to claim something to the consumer. So I think we should, brands and partners or industry players, we should do our homework all together. And when we do the homework and the homework is solid and we all understand what does it mean, probably the communication to the consumer will be smoother after. Because today it's going everywhere. And what we try to do in Tommy, we are very cautious. So we try to pretend to do much more in the denim industry, but we don't face everything we do to the consumer yet. Yeah. So I rather to do the contrary. So put the pressure, do your homework, communicate just the little things you want, but not to over communicating. The day we will be ready, probably we'll engage. But at this moment, I think we are not there yet.
Absolutely. These are great insights, Nicolas. All the aspects of the denim industry currently, what's happening, and specifically, I'm really personally myself very happy to know what positive direction the industry is taking post 6 months, after this 5 months of difficult times, and the great efforts what brands like yourselves putting up, to improve the sustainable efforts, and also to adapt to the current times and with various digital solutions. So it's, I think, very commendable, and I thank you for coming on this talk and sharing all your thoughts with us. It was a wonderful, really speaking to you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you. It was a good conversation. Thanks for organizing again.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot.
Nicolas.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.